while people are not surprisingly peed off. Let's begin. Yeah, I don't know if it's me, but it just seems like we're always sending money over to France so they can help us out with our small boats problem. Whereby, of course, we get loads of future Labour voters come to our country illegally every day. And we always hear, don't we, that this money's going to help sort that out. And even from what I remember, James cleverly said that this plan will work or something like that. Well, I hope that the plan he was talking about is not the one I'm about to tell you, because according to this article, there has been, not surprisingly, fury over a useless French plan to stop migrant boats crossing the channel. And what is that? Well, apparently they're using boys. And I'm not talking about kids with catapults or anything like that. I am talking about buoys. You know, those floaty plastic things on the water. These things, for instance. It's just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, you can just imagine a meeting about this, can't you? Oh, we've got all that money now. We need to do something. Oh, I know, let's put a load of plastic crap across the water. That will stop them. I mean, what do they think they would do? Just come along and say, oh, we have to turn around, I think. Of course, they're not going to do that, are they? They're just going to power through it. It's just absolutely mental. But anyway, the article says it is a little bit of a tongue twister that the French face fury, try saying that 3 times when you're drunk, last night after it emerged buoys were installed in a useless position to stop migrant boats reaching the channel. The barrage was apparently stretched across the canal near, and here's my French for you, Abtelis and Les Tourquettes. Hope I pronounced them too right, but to be honest, I got a feeling I didn't. Amid fears, smugglers are using rivers and smaller waterways to launch boats. Well, to be honest with you, what's to stop them from actually walking past where the buoys are installed and launching them there? It's just absolutely mental, isn't it? And this is certainly not what I would think of as value for money or any deterrent at all for all the illegal boat people coming across here. But it goes on and says, but in the latest fast, just yards away on the channel side of the blockade is a runway into the water and a car park. And this is significant because many smugglers will drop dozens of migrants off by a vehicle moments before they attempt to launch a dinghy destined, of course, for the UK. And unsurprisingly, of course, I'm not the only one who's peed off about it. Alf Melford, the chair of Migration Watch, told the Express, this is an indication of how the French regard illegal migration. It's time they took it seriously and put the millions we give them to better use, and I personally think that's right. I mean, who knows how many French sticks and garlic they've actually brought with that, along with, of course, any parties or meetings that happen where they sort things out. And yes, I know, I'm not saying that is what they're doing with the money, although personally, I think it could be spent in much better ways. For instance, I know they've got people in the water on boats every so often to try and stop people coming across. Or I say stop, what I actually mean is what's seeming to be the case, guiding them to our water taxis. Oh, sorry, I mean the border force. But anyway, what they could do is, instead of doing that, they could actually have loads of guards patrol the beaches. If they come across anyone try to launch a dinghy, they just go up to them and just slash the dinghy or confiscate it, either way, search the vans or the tents that they're currently living in, and then remove any other secondary or third dinghies that they got. And that will surely fix the problem a lot better than just a few people in the water, won't it? But anyway, Alf continues. They should start by stopping more boats from setting off illegally from France. They should also accept those who made it to British waters. And I personally think that is a very good point. They should do, because obviously they did come from France, which obviously is a safe country, isn't it? They might then find that fewer enter France with the intention of making their way to the UK. And some 3,208 migrants have crossed the channel since the start of the year, the Home Office figures show, which is just mental, isn't it? It's only been 3 months. Well, you know, near the start of the month anyway. So in that case, it's, if anything, surely like 14 or 1,500 a month coming across. It's just absolutely unacceptable, and more needs to be done about this. And not only by the French, our MPs really do need to sort this out and actually make it law that if people come across here legally from the safe country of France, they are immediately towed back to France. And the French, you'd like to think, with all the money we've given them, would accept that, although I'm betting if anything they more than likely won't. Some 2,000 migrants, it says, are said to be in camps in Calais and Dunkirk, waiting to cross the English Channel, it is understood apparently. And migrant support charity Care for Calais has claimed 11 people have died attempting to reach the UK so far this year, including a 7-year-old girl, which, you know, obviously is very sad and unfortunate, but at the end of the day, if they wanted to come over here, they should have gone through our points-based system, filled in the forms and come across here legally, not illegally, which obviously is what's going on with all the boats. The Daily Express apparently has been told that barges are particularly effective in stopping larger dinghies which cannot be launched easily from the beaches. And wait for this, Kevin Sanders, a former chief immigration officer from Border Force, told the Express, "I knew that the French were going to do this. However, I thought they were going to put the barrier at the actual mouth of the river or canal. And while putting barriers up the rivers of Calais to northern France is a good idea, the barrier needs to be as close as possible to the mouth of the canal. The people smugglers are being frustrated by the French authorities when trying to get people into the boats directly off the beaches." Well, to be honest, with the amount that's coming over, it doesn't really seem like that's the case, does it? He does also say, though, that the French are actually using drones which pick up heat signatures of people, thus making it easier for land-based patrols to intercept the vessels. Well, if that is indeed the case, then surely, if anything, rather than filling up the river with buoys, wouldn't it be better if they just spent a bit of all those millions on a few more drones to help do the job? Not forgetting, of course, something to pop the dinghies while they're on the beach. But, don't worry, because Prime Minister Rishi Sunak in the landmark summit, it says, with, of course, French President Emmanuel Macron in March 2023 agreed to pay £478 million, which, I'm guessing should sort the problem out. Although the problem is we are in 2024, and so far, effing all has actually happened, it seems. This apparently included £124 million in 23-24 and £168 million over the next 12 months. And wait for this, another £184 million in 2025 to 2026. It's like, if anything, they're the BBC in some sort of way, knowing that they've got the money coming to them without appearing, in this case, to be doing anything for it. I mean, it's just absolutely disgraceful. Rishi really does need to have a rethink about this and actually stop that money until improvements are made, less people are coming over, and then give that money, or some of the money, not all of it obviously, some of it, as some sort of incentive to actually keep up stopping the boats from even entering the water in the first place. Because at the minute, it just seems like they're laughing at us, if anything, knowing that presumably the worse the problem gets and more people come across, the more, we'll probably give them to make the problem go away. But let's face it, if we've got any sense, that won't happen. And it's time Rishi should tell him that. But to be honest, if anything, I'm guessing Rishi's wife has got bigger balls than what he's got. Although, what does Rishi say about this? Does he think on our sort of wavelength? I'm guessing not, because he says that the £478 million deal will pay for a new detention centre near Dunkirk, an extra 500 officers and more surveillance equipment, and the UK is understood to be contributing £26 million to this new facility. The number of migrants rescued and returned to France in the Channel has also rocketed, apparently, to a new level. Is that, 3, 4? No! It's apparently, if the figures are anything to go by, in this case, the article says at least 868 migrants had been rescued in French waters, compared to 490 over the same period in 2023 and 463 in 2022, Labour said. The thing is, though, look at that word there, rescued. It does not say where they actually go, does it? And we all know, don't we? We've heard it on the news that quite a lot of the time, in fact, most times, I'm guessing, they get rescued and then brought back to the UK rather than actually taking them back to the safe country of France, which obviously that's where they should be, isn't it? But the worrying thing is, though, it's not only France we're giving money to. According to this, the Home Office on Thursday also revealed that the UK will give Libya £1 million in the fight against smugglers operating in the Mediterranean. Well, surely, whilst that is, I'm guessing, going towards quite a lot of the source of the problem, at the end of the day, shouldn't that be the Mediterranean's issue to sort out and all the rest of Europe they come through before they actually get to France? It says, though, that the money will support the protection of migrants in Libya and help prevent journeys to Europe by tackling the root causes of illegal migration and facilitating the voluntary return of migrants to their home countries. Oh yeah, I'm guessing they'll all volunteer for that. That's obviously why they left in the first place, isn't it? I mean, seriously, do these people not think about these things or something? One thing I do actually find strange, though, is when these illegal boot people come over in and saying they're fleeing from war and things like that, or whatever else they say, they'd presumably, you'd think, wouldn't you, actually be happy with any accommodation or anything would give them. Be that a tent, a room on a barge, unfortunately, as quite a lot of cases, a room in a hotel, but it just seems that they're not happy, unless, of course, they do actually win the jackpot in their eyes, I'm guessing, and get a room in a 5-star hotel with all the meals included, I'm guessing. But the thing is, what I do find strange is, whilst they're not happy unless they get that in quite a lot of cases, how come they actually were happy to more than likely, if anything, sleep in one of those tents themselves when they were on the coasts of France before they went in the dinghy? That just strikes me as a bit strange, don't you think? Either way, the Conservatives really do need to get this sorted out before Labour come in and, I don't know, mess it up completely, and then I'm guessing, if anything, the floodgates will be blown wide open for, let's face it, probably anyone to come over, hey?